Hi, this is Jack Westman for ESEA.net here in Romania for DreamHack Cluj 2015. Joining me this time is FNS from Team CLG. First of all, FNS, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've just defeated Dignitas to go through to the deciding game in your group.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now? Pretty good, I assume.
Yeah, really, really good. Honestly, we expected to win a lot smoother than that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were up 9-2, and then giving up that lead was kind of terrible for us. After that pause, they were able to win 4 straight rounds, and then, after we won pistol, we got ecoed, all that stuff. So they made it a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. All
right. Well, before we get into Dignitas, let's jump back to yesterday, where, of course, you lost to Na'Vi on Cobble as well. That was 16-12, I think. What went wrong versus them? I mean, because obviously it was the same map. What was the difference between playing them yesterday and playing Dignitas today?
I actually tweeted about it. It was going fine. We were really confident, especially when we won that CT pistol. Everything was perfect.
Yeah.
We had full confidence going to the following rounds. We had a couple of clean rounds, maybe one at least. And then JDM won a really clutch round for us, a 2v1 where we almost lost and got ecoed. So we were looking good until the 4v2 that Flamey hit 2 ridiculous shots on Tarek and JDM.
Yeah.
And that round, I was alive, and I looked at the top right of my screen. I see 4 of my teammates alive. I pressed tab, 4 of my teammates alive, and then in 3 seconds, everyone died. And I was just like, what just happened? And that round completely shifted the economy and the momentum. So.
All right, so they caught you off guard a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, well, at least with that one round. I mean, it's crazy how easily things can shift in CS, and that's what happened there.
Okay, well, today against Dignitas was obviously a lot better. Same map, but you squeaked it 16-13 in the end?
14.
It was 14, okay, so about as close as it can be in Counter-Strike. You said it was a bit closer than you expected. I mean, have you played Dignitas much? How do you think you matched up with them in advance?
I honestly think they didn't give Envy much of a run for their money. Obviously, they lost 16-6, and we watched that demo. We watched a few demos of theirs, depending on what we thought that we were going to play against them. We watched a couple Mirage, a couple Cobble. We expected Cobble to be one of the last maps, and of course, we play that map. But we were really confident. Like I said, the reason I'm saying I didn't expect them to do as well as they did was because, truthfully, especially when we were up 9-2, I expected us to breeze away with that win.
Right.
But obviously that wasn't the case. They put up a fight. AZ, I literally think he dropped 40 kills on us. So huge performance from that guy. He kept them in the game, and like I said, we weren't expecting a performance like that.
Okay, well, you did have this strong T half, as you've just kind of mentioned there as well. I think you ended the half 9-6, right? Yeah. And then CT obviously struggled a little bit more, but pulled it back. What was the key to your T half in that case? Where were you unlocking them?
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we won T pistol. Usually we're a pistol reliant team. If we win pistol, we usually fly away with at least the half, if not the first couple of rounds. But when you have a 5-0 lead on a map like that, which I think we did, or at least 5-1, it's really easy to be able to gather those last 4 rounds because the other team has full pressure and you really don't. You feel like you've done enough at least for the half. Or at least gotten off to a good start. So luckily for us, we got off to a good start versus them, and that led us to get that 9-2 and 9-6.
All right, well, let's talk, I guess, more broadly about the tournament overall. Yeah. Now, a lot of people see CLG as kind of being an upset team. They can win one match.
BO1s,
BO1s, yeah. It's kind of a little bit random, but you're not a serious threat over the course of a tournament. Do you think that's fair or kind of an outdated view of you guys?
I think that's fair. We haven't done anything BO3-wise. We haven't really advanced as far as we should be able to in at least past groups in a major. Even in previous tournaments, I think our best result has been ESEA LAN where we beat Fnatic and Luminosity, both of which were BO1s. So we haven't proven anything yet. So it's a fair view, I would say. I don't really blame people for saying, well, we're BO1 kings or whatever. But again, we need to prove to everyone else and ourselves that we could do well in a BO3, and we finally have the chance to do that.
Yeah, do you think you will? I mean, do you see yourselves as very reliant on the best of one format, and once you get deep into a tournament, you're just kind of screwed? Is that how it works?
Honestly, when you look back at our matches, we've played very few BO3s on LAN. So we don't honestly know how well we'll do. We just assume we're going to be able to do well. We want BO3s. That's what we've always wanted. So we finally got what we wanted, and tomorrow, I guess, we'll see what happens.
Okay, we will, because you're facing either Envy or Na'Vi again tomorrow.
Yeah.
I assume even though you lost to Na'Vi yesterday, you'd still rather play them than Envy, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in general, I think Na'Vi is probably the 5th best team in the world, and Envy might just be the best. So, of course, I would want to play Na'Vi.
Do you think, having had the chance to see Na'Vi's game yesterday, you feel more confident in a best of 3 against them tomorrow?
Honestly, I think it's hard to say. It depends on maps a lot. I honestly feel like we could beat Navi on a lot of their maps, and I think they read us as well as we read them, whereas Envy is a little bit more difficult to read, so I prefer Navi any day.
Okay, last couple of questions before I let you go. I asked you at ESEA LAN about 6 months ago why US teams couldn't beat Europeans on a regular basis, and I think you gave me a really good answer. Time has moved on. Obviously, this is another major. We've got 3 US teams here, which is the most ever, and the most players from any country. But it still doesn't feel like you guys are capable of taking a title. You know, you're competitive, but not quite there.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for American teams to get over the last hill and win a major, essentially?
I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of it has to do with just the European, the amount of time they put in compared to us. I think a lot of NA teams slack. Honestly, we scrimmed 3 times. Some because it was our fault, and some because other teams just don't play us when we want to play. In North America. Whereas we asked, I think it was TSM. I was talking to Dupree earlier, and he said, I was like, yeah. So how much do you guys really practice? Realistically speaking, he's like, all the time. We're always in servers. We always have scrims ready. They're way more structured than we are. It's like League of Legends and why the Koreans are better than North Americans. It's the same thing. They just put in more time than we do, and I think that's the key.
This theme of Americans not having good people to practice against, or as you were saying there, you just don't really get the opportunities.
You can't use that excuse anymore because Luminosity's there, Cloud9's there, and Liquid's there. All 3 of these teams, Liquid just took NIP really close. They should have beaten Virtus Pro yesterday. We could beat these teams. We're right there. It's just we need to put in that extra mile of work, and a lot of teams aren't doing that right now.
Would something drastic like moving to Europe help? Have you ever considered that?
We actually were talking about it, boot camping next time. The problem with this time was that the ESL wouldn't move our schedule, based on that.
Right.
And we didn't want to just give up league matches. I think Luminosity decided to take a hit on a couple of them, so they boot camped. Obviously, it's working out for them. We've never really boot camped in Europe, so we want to try to do that as much as we can, or at least once, to see how much it helps us or how much it doesn't. But I really do think that us not scrimming that much is a problem.
All right, and very last question before I let you go. The hardware of this tournament has been talked about a lot. The monitors, the soundproof booths, which are obviously a good thing. How are you finding the whole setup, the monitors in particular, I guess?
I'm going to say right now, I think DreamHack has done an incredible job, in terms of just soundproof booths. The admins literally setting everything up for us. We had to do nothing.
Yeah.
Overall, all the admins, everyone that works for DreamHack right now, incredible job to them. Now, the bad part is the monitors. I'm not going to lie. I think that they could do a better job with the monitors. The ASO ones, we're just not used to them. We sit there at home and play with 144 hertz Asus monitors with 1ms, 2ms, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you go to monitors like this, first of all, they give you all these options like turbo on, turbo off, and we're just confused as hell. We don't know what to do. We don't know what the best setting is. So we're just not used to it, I guess. And I feel like if in time we could get used to it. But overall, I think they should definitely either ISO? Is it ISO?
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Okay, we'll say ISO. I think ISO should either make better monitors or upgrade them in some way, or we should just use BenQs or Asus.
All right, well, I hope they don't hamper you too much in tomorrow's match against Na'Vi, we assume.
Yeah.
FNS, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Always good to talk to you. And for everyone watching at esea.net, thank you very much, and stay tuned for more coverage here in Romania.